All right, welcome back, everybody. Been a wild couple days. I can't say the price action has been necessarily TA driven, so I had to wait for the price to slow down a little bit, create a range, and see if we can attempt some TA today. I will break down the charts. Also, we'll look at more of a macro, horizontals, Fibonacci retracement levels. We have to zoom out and look at the bigger picture here because price did just move a ton. And, we have to talk about it. Is there going to be more downside or will there be a recovery? So this is Crypto Rolly, the crypto watch that never stops. Live technical analysis, price predictions, and trading. Remember, these are my own ideas and opinions on the market. I am not your financial advisor, so please do your own research and trade at your own risk. All right, hit the like, comment, subscribe, tick the bell for notifications, and let's keep it rolling. How you like that new slogan? All right, so looking at the crypto market, we can see we're back down small percentages in the last 24 hours, basically across the board. The volume is a little bit lower. We're still above a billion, which on a Saturday is pretty high, but considering, the previous 2 days, we have slowed down a bit. The crypto fear and greed index down to an 8, extreme fear. So, could we see a recovery? Maybe just a little bit of a relief rally to get this a bit higher. Or, the markets and the world is still in much fear. So we have to keep that in mind, that we are not just looking at some speculation, technical analysis like we usually do. We have to keep in mind the global markets because we have seen how well they are tied together, okay? Bitcoin block halving less than 2 months away, 57 days. All right, so real quick, let's take a look at the S&P 500. We did see a little bit of a bounce on Friday. You see this big wick on the weekly, shows you that we dropped hard and had a bounce. So looking at the daily, you can see we did bounce. We finished Friday pretty strong in the stock markets. I believe this was shortly after Trump gave a live speech, state of emergency address. Basically, this could have gone both ways. I'm sure some people thought the market might even dump once he announced state of emergency for the whole country, causing more fear and panic, which we saw in the grocery stores last night. There was no food, no eggs. It's kind of like the apocalypse starting. But what the state of emergency did was it frees up, I think it was like $50 billion that they can help the economy and, people suffering from, the damage that we are seeing. So that gives $50 billion of aid once they call that state of emergency. So we did see the stocks rise here, but, we were looking at this horizontal here the other day, and, we talk about breakout retest. So currently, we could test up here and get rejected. We are, what they're saying, in a bear market now, and in bear markets, bounces are meant for shorting. You're going to see support, flipped resistance. So if we get rejected here, that will not be out of the ordinary. This would be a previous support line and then flipped resistance. So we'll have to see what happens. If the stock market has a nice relief rally and is able to, gain some traction, then we could see the same in Bitcoin. But we have seen that the two are very correlated, at least for now. Maybe 5, 10, 20 years from now, they will decouple. Maybe they will act in their own ways. We could see if there's a real global meltdown. Maybe Bitcoin does become a safe haven in the face of extreme turmoil. But as of now, it is not showing that strength. Okay, guys, looking at the weekly on the S&P 500, we can pull out our moving averages. And so on the weekly, we did bounce back above the green 200 EMA and the pink 200 simple. So on the weekly, you really need to hold this. We talk about the 21 EMA being pretty important, but going all the way back, you can see the importance of the 200 EMA and 200 simple. So if next week's candle closes beneath that, I think that will be a full-on bear market if we're not already, teetering on the edge. Okay, so keeping that in mind, let's go back to Bitcoin, and we have to remember, okay, so now we are looking to close tomorrow this weekly candle beneath potentially the pink 200 simple and the 200 EMA. Going out on the macro level, you can see that in its short term, Bitcoin's been only around for about 10 years. So you can see even on the Bitstamp chart, we don't get the 200 EMA or 200 simple until 2015. But as soon as we've had it, we haven't seen price trading beneath it. We were saved in 2018 from that massive capitulation dump off. We were saved by it. This time we dropped well beneath it, and we'll have to see tomorrow if we close beneath it. If we close beneath it, that will be a first, okay? So, things aren't looking so great. And my point is, it doesn't look much better as far as the pandemic goes either, because right now, they're talking about we're not even at the peak of the crisis in America. Schools are shutting down across the country. Restaurants are being hit. There's no food in the grocery stores. People are freaking out. And it's not getting any better. Spain is now going on a lockdown. Now we're restricting flights to the UK. The Canadian Prime Minister, First Lady has coronavirus. The mayor of Miami has coronavirus. There's a guy from Brazil who shook Donald Trump's hand that has coronavirus. So, we're worried, does he have it? I don't think this is getting any better anytime soon. Okay, if the world was going to be rid of all this problem, we could probably go on a nice rally, and this was just a bit of a nightmare. But I don't think the nightmare is quite over. Things could get worse, so we have to keep a bit of a bearish bias, unfortunately. Okay, looking at this, we are looking to potentially close back beneath these. And that is definitely just not looking good for Bitcoin, because if you take away the moving averages, and just zoom out, okay, guys, zoom out for a little bit. This is a high, a lower high, and a lower high, okay? Let's pull out the Fibonacci for this one, okay? Let me go over to the BitMEX, okay? We can start looking at Fibonacci's. And we'll also look at horizontals, okay? So if we pulling out the Fibonacci, let me just start fresh here, okay? Let's take the Fibonacci from this swing low to this swing high, okay? So from this swing low to this swing high, your golden retracement was around 72.90. Initially, we did find our support on the golden retrace, and we did have that rally. Everything was looking good, looking normal, okay? And let's, before I go further, look at the 0.618 golden retrace and why you can see this play out so many times in crypto. So from this swing low, or this swing high to this swing low, where did we peak in 2019? Exactly the 0.618. Can you see that? All right, here's a 0.618. Here's where we peaked. All right, I'll drag this down so you can see it a little bit better. So from 20K to 3K, we peaked at the golden retrace. All right, so we see that, and then let me delete this, and we'll restart, and we'll put another one going from this low to this high, okay? 618, held up price, nice rally, exactly what we wanted to see, all right? But we had a black swan event here, and we have dropped off a cliff, basically. Okay, so let's take our retracement and let's drag it from this top. Okay, hold on. We're going to drag it from this top down to this bottom, say that this is the bottom. Okay, let's just say that this is the bottom. If we bounce from here, your 0.236 is at 6,000. Okay, we could potentially look to bounce up to 6,000. Your 0.618 is a complete retrace of this entire dump. It would be all the way at 99.70. But like I said, this was a bit of a black swan event. So really, I want to look at this top to this bottom if this is the bottom. Currently, the 0.236 is at 52.48. We're trading at 52.93. So we did manage to get above that. Your next level up is the 0.382 at 62.64, which would be just beneath this trading, which, this was a trading level, and you had your trading here. So this could be, support levels tested as resistance. Your 0.618 would be all the way at 7,900. So I guess, I'm bouncing around a little here, but if you did believe that we were going to rally from this point, these would be, some macro levels to the upside that you can look at, okay? One level at a time. But what I'm afraid of here, all right, what I'm afraid of is if you draw, let's go back to this one. If we draw from here to there, we have dropped beneath the 0.786. So we were saved by the 0.618, but we are trading beneath the 0.786. If you don't find your support by the golden retrace, and then last but not least, the 0.786, which we are currently trading beneath, you're talking about a complete retracement. You're talking about a retracement down to low 3170 down here, okay? So that being said, we can start drawing some new horizontals, and we can even look at a descending trend line, okay guys? So let's go ahead and draw this trend line here. All right, so basically to sum up the Fibonacci's, when I drew it from here to here, you can see the golden retrace was important. When you drew it from here to here, we hit the golden retrace right here. Looked good, everything was normal. But this has failed, okay? If you think we're at the bottom here, you can draw your fib from here to here and look at those levels going up, okay? But we are currently, when you draw from here to here, beneath the 0.786. So if we're looking at a complete retracement, you can draw a horizontal here. We can draw one down here as well, okay? You can see basically where you had this bounce of support. Okay, and then you know what, if you wanted to get crazier, you could draw one here. This is just previous price action. None of these have to, hold. We don't have to visit any of these levels, but when you start drawing these, you can get a better idea of, potential ranges and targets, all right? And we can see, let's even draw one right here. All right. And like I said, these aren't going to be perfect, but this is just to give us some type of idea of what we're looking at. And then I want to draw one, and I'm going to change the color on it. I'm going to draw it to red. Why not? Okay? So we could be looking at something like this. And let's just drag it out even further. All right, this is a big what if. But what if we find, and I'm going to make this one red as well. All right. See what I'm going towards? So if we were having a complete retracement back to the lows here, say we do find support here and we bounce, okay? I'll take this guy out and we can use this. Say we bounce from here and maybe we have a little bit of a rally, rejected, you bouncing around, and this is on no type of time frame, but say we do get a nice little rally up to here. Okay, maybe to that 0.618 even, you know what I mean? So we could take a look from this top to here, drag that across. Yeah, your 618 is coming in right around here. This is all the way March 2021. So this is a big hypothetical, but we're still putting in lower highs on the macro, all right? So say you have that rally to the 0.618 and you get rejected, another lower high. Then you come back down. This is a descending triangle. What if this descending triangle breaks? Now you're looking at lower levels down here, okay? This is where we'll draw this one back down the road. This is coming in around 1,900, around 2,000 we can say. What is this one coming in around? We'll drag this out here as well. This is around 1,325. And this is in a descending triangle scenario. What if we just break this level This is your other scenario. What if the world really just starts collapsing and now you break your horizontal support? I don't know, if it happens this week, this month, 6 months from now, instead of just bouncing going up, what if right here you come down? You're looking at a potential level around 2,000. Just a potential level. I mean, I could also draw maybe a horizontal right here even, okay? And this one would be around 25.37. So the reason I'm, outlining all of this is because if you do break this level, not only do you have lower highs, but now you're forming lower lows on the macro. What if you're starting to put in, maybe a type of descending channel like this? These are just macro possibilities, okay, guys? We don't know what's going to happen. And the fact is, if Bitcoin just dumped, if this dump was based on, say, like some FUD, like Binance got hacked, or, Tether went down, some just usual cryptocurrency FUD, China banned Bitcoin, some stuff like that, I would be looking for a stronger recovery a lot faster. But this scenario is something we've never seen before. So we have to just be prepared for all situations, okay? Maybe this just is a flash in the pan and it's just a 1 week deal and then we just climb back to 14K, 20K. I mean, that would be crazy. But as I'm saying, the rate of coronavirus is picking up in the United States. This is not getting better anytime soon, okay? It's going to play its course, and it has not finished playing its course, all right? So we have to keep that in mind. So that's the macro. I hope you can, see where I'm going with all this. And you can use this on Ethereum, and we can look real quick at the end at that. But you want to zoom out, look at the previous price action, look at your horizontals, look at the Fibonacci's on a macro level to really determine some of these larger ranges, okay? So let's go down to, I've been talking for 17 minutes. Okay, cool. We'll do a quick breakdown like we usually do. I'm trying to maintain just a neutral stance right now, and we'll do a quick breakdown like we usually do. Okay, so let's go to the lower time frames because that's where all the action is. And it's interesting on Bitstamp, just going right here, you can see that I have this descending trend line drawn out, and it's been respecting it. So possibly if you can gain some volume, you can look here, there's no volume anymore. The volume's completely fallen off. So, these trends, I could draw one here, I'm just fishing for trend lines right now, but I had previously had a symmetrical triangle already drawn out, and we just went sideways through it. If you're looking, and this is what's interesting too, the prices are different on Bitstamp and BitMEX and Coinbase. So here I'm looking at, this looks like a well-defined symmetrical triangle on the 1 hour, but go back over to BitMEX, look at BitMEX real quick, and it looks much more like an ascending triangle right here. If you take this one away and just draw a flat line of resistance right here, I'll just draw it over. I saw people talking about ascending triangles, and I could see this on a lot of altcoins. And, we did get an hourly candle close above the previous resistance, and there was just no volume, no follow through. You can see it for there to be a rally. So we just gone sideways. And the thing is, this sideways action doesn't look like much, but really you're talking about a range between like 5,600 all the way down to 5,200, okay? This is a large sideways range, and people are trying to take positions yesterday in here looking for that next big move. They maybe they missed out on this or this. So they're like, okay, I'm going to get in now. It's going to explode all the way back up to 7,000. Or maybe they're like, it's going to drop to 3,500, but the thing is, if you have tight stops in this range, you've probably got chopped up, okay? Because the volume hasn't picked up to go in either direction. And you're talking about like $200-$300 moves on each 1 hour candle. You got to be fast, quick, in and out. or you just need wider stops. But if you have wider stops, your position size has to be smaller. So my point here is that the landscape has changed quite a bit at this lower level. Also, $1,000 position, up here in 10K is a lot different than $1,000 position down here. So you have to take a step back and, make sure you're accommodating for the new price levels at 5,300. You're also accommodating for these wild price swings, so you have to really look at your strategy on this. So I am on the lower time frames, just looking at horizontals. I can't make much sense of my moving averages. You can look at it here. Above, below, the yellow 21 EMA on the 1 hour hasn't done any good here at all. Going to the 4 hour, let's see if there's anything. We closed above the blue 10 simple. We didn't have any momentum. We're back beneath it. This Stoke has just slowly been rising. Looked like it was going to fall over. The indicators haven't been helping too much. That's why, the horizontals to me are the most important, even more important than patterns, just horizontal levels of support and resistance, guys. So, looking at those real quick, we can see that we have what? So we were saying 5,600 would be the top side of this little range we're bouncing around in. Let me get rid of that. And then you have like 5150 would be the next range. Below that, you can see what we have, like 4879, 4850. The next one I've drawn out is 4300, and then I have 3950, and then ultimately your lows around 3500. Okay, if you're able to regain 5600, this level here is going to be at 6200. Okay, the CME is closed. Let's see where the CME closed on Friday. Let's see if we can look at some gap talk. Let's see. No, I'll go over here. So the CME closed at 53.30, and it was right here when it closed. Let's see where that would look like. Kind of looks like somewhere around this region. So currently, I think price is pretty much where the CME closed. Now, if we do get a pump, you're going to have a CME gap below. If we get a dump in the next day, we'll have a CME gap above. Okay, so let's just look at our indicators for the sake of looking at them. We looked at the moving averages. We showed the stochastics are slowly rising. Our Bollinger Bands, still floating sideways through here, nothing to see. Ichimoku Cloud, your resistance is coming in around 5,900, but you're pretty separated from there. Going to the 12-hour, your resistance is way up here at 65.34. 65.34, I can see right now with the dashes, that's coming just beneath this price action. So yeah, support, flipped resistance, retest. If we do get that relief rally, we're talking about potentially coming back to testing this. So this was previous support here. So we could come back and retest it as resistance. So you could talk about this line here or just the bottom of this previous price action here. And that's coming in around 64.50. So, looking for resistance in these levels here, okay? What do I have? Oh, this was the previous channel we were in. So yeah, right now I'm just, playing around with the levels, especially today. I don't usually trade on Saturdays just because the price action is pretty slow. It can be easily manipulated. So we did fall back into this channel. So yeah, you could have resistance here, the bottom of that trading, or resistance here, support, flip, resistance. And then, if we're trading back in this channel, you could find resistance here as well, okay? So I'm just offering different ways to move forward. And, I'm trying to adapt to this new level of trading. And, the more we trade in this level, the more we can create a range, the more the indicators will catch up and become more useful. A lot of them are lagging indicators. So, when price moves really fast like that, your oscillators aren't going to be great. Your oscillators are better for ranging movements like the RSI and the stochastics. Okay. So taking those off, let's just keep it moving. Let's look at our moving averages. I mean, your moving averages are way up here as well. So there's plenty of room to rally if we do rally, but just know that it's most likely going to be a rejection unless that the world is saved and we have a vaccine. If not, I think rallies will be meant for shorting. Just my opinion, and I'm not a financial advisor like we're saying. Looking at the daily, see, none of this is useful just because look how far away the moving averages are. So, I mean, we could look at the Stokes. The Stokes are looking to cross back up possibly. The 12-hour Stoke, I think, was crossed up, but looking like a hint down. This is, unprecedented price action. A 39% drop in a single day candle. It's going to be hard to do some TA. So just keep it simple. I don't even want to look at all the indicators. It's just keep it simple, zoom out, look at your horizontal lines of resistance and support, and take it slow. Just realize that this is a marathon, not a race. So guys, if you weren't able to take advantage of this, don't, freak out thinking that we're just going to immediately move one way or the other and you just, FOMO into positions. Just treat this like any other trading day, trading week. Something I like to do myself is tell myself, okay, day one, no matter what happened yesterday, whether it was great or was bad, you have to keep, each week like it's a fresh week because you don't want to trade, revenge trade. You don't want to be making up for losses. Okay, say you had a big loss last week and now you're trying to trade to get back that loss. You won't take profits where you should because you're too busy trying to make up your loss when what you really need to do is stick to your, trading style, your rules, take profits where you can. If you stick to that and just continue to consistently take profits, you will get back, those losses. It's okay, but you can't be playing like a loser. And also, sometimes when you have a big victory, you can also get a little too cocky and start wagering more than you should because you're like, what, I just made all this money. I could afford to risk some more, maybe more than usual. I'm on a hot streak, and then you get punished, okay? So slow down, breathe. It's been 27 minutes. Let's look at some altcoins just real quick. Ethereum, we're looking at these levels as well on Ethereum going out to the weekly. If we are, it's funny that we're bouncing back into this rising trend line possibly. We'll have to see where the weekly closes. Taking a look at its moving averages, well beneath all the weekly moving averages, okay? So going back to this, if we do close beneath that rising trend line, you're also forming like a high, low, lower low, and you could be revisiting these lows back here at $81. Your next level is in the 50 range, and your next levels down here, 10, 11. I'm not saying we're going to these levels, but this was the previous price action. If we start dropping hard, you might see these levels, okay? Going back to, let's look at Link, because I looked at these briefly 2 days ago, and, price was a bit higher when I drew some of these horizontals so we can see what happened. So we did, wow, let me take away the volume. Link came all the way to its bottom. That is crazy, okay? And we've bounced back above this horizontal and trying to fight to stay above here. And I think we were up here when I was drawing these horizontals, okay? So just zoom out, take a look at these. I'm not in any type of rush to trade at the moment. These are just very uncertain times. This is not the type of trading action that many people signed up for. So don't get caught in the FOMO of it all. FOMO works both ways, both up and down. So this on Tezos, we did hit this horizontal line of support, bounced up and finding resistance here. So this would be support, flip, possible resistance. If we are able to regain here, you could look to find support above, where are we, $1.76, okay? But you can see where I found this resistance line, and now it's acting as resistance again. If we're rejected here, we could work our way back down to around $1.18 on Tezos. XRP, let's take a look at XRP just real quick. Been 30 minutes. All right, last one. So XRP is trying to hold on to this crucial line of horizontal support dating all the way back to 2017. You had this price range between about 28 cents and what is this? About 14 cents. So basically about 14 cents to 28 cents you had this price range. And once you lost that level back, you see 28 cents held very long time. Once you lost that level, you started testing back in this region. Try to come out of it, rejected from 28 cents level and back down to your 14, 15 cents region. Okay, you want to find support here, but if the market keeps dumping, your next level is down at 6 cents. Otherwise, you could drop farther. Okay, guys, what we also saw on Bitcoin was a very low lack of liquidity. The price just kept dumping and dumping, and honestly, it looked like we might fall to 1,000. People are blaming it on BitMEX. Over 800 million was liquidated on BitMEX. Apparently, there was a huge sell wall on BitMEX who just kept driving the price farther and farther down. Market makers, manipulators, whales, whoever, they were driving the price down, and then apparently BitMEX had to shut down for maintenance. And as soon as BitMEX shut down for maintenance is when you saw that large rally and bounced from 38.50. Okay, so this rally happened as soon as BitMEX shut down for maintenance. So some people are blaming, all of this on the lack of liquidity and, manipulation by BitMEX. And they were saying if they didn't shut down, we could have gone to 1,000. That doesn't make me feel very comfortable in this trading environment either. Okay, if you're not comfortable in the trading environment, you don't have to play it. You can wait it out. If you do want to play it, just be very cautious and careful, and just remember that it's a marathon, and small profits add up. Compound gains. If you were able to, in theory, these are way, better than what happens in real life, because you can't expect the same results on a daily, weekly basis when trading. But, if you gained like 1% of your portfolio every single day, that adds up super fast. Okay. So, just cautious, play safe. Anything can happen. And just remember that. If someone's telling you the bottom is in and we'll never see 3,500, I'd be careful. Could they be right? They could be right. But, some people have been claiming, we're going to 50K and we haven't gone there yet. So, if we go to 50K in 2 years and, they're like, see, I told you. I mean, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, I wouldn't be so certain to say the bottom is in, and I also wouldn't be so certain to say we're going to 1,000. I would just be careful, cautious, one level at a time. So, guys, just take a step back. That's what I'm trying to do. And, Monday is a new day, a new week, and we'll go from there. You know, I do have the VIP group if you're interested. You know, the contact information on Twitter and Discord is down there if you're interested in how, you know, I'm trading this, my, you know, my strategy, my stop loss, my entries, you know, and how to trade on margin. Okay, so if you're interested, hit me up. Otherwise, you know, continue to watch these videos, like, comment, subscribe, tick the bell, and we'll see you next time. Crypto Rolly Roll.